Of the game. Open court to the way, and fluff it home with the left hand.
And welcome to the 2016 MAAC Basketball Championships on ESPN3. Tonight from the Times Union Center in Albany, New York. It's our first quarterfinal matchup pitting the Ryder Broncs against the regular season champion Monmouth Hawks. Lots of basketball to be played between now and Monday night here in the state capital of New York, beginning with the 1-8 game between the Hawks and the Broncs. Our second game tonight will have the number 2 seed Iona against the number 7 seed Canisius. Then the other two quarterfinals will be played tomorrow night. The hometown Siena Saints will take on Manhattan in the 3-6 game, and then St. Peter's will play Fairfield tomorrow night in the nightcap. And welcome everybody to the Times Union Center. Doug Sherman along with Rob Kennedy. So glad you could join us for this year's MAAC tournament, and we will start off by checking out the regular season champion Monmouth Hawks.
Well, they got everybody's attention right from the get-go. They went out west, won at Pauley Pavilion, had a great tournament down in Orlando where they were able to beat Notre Dame, nationally ranked at the time, as well as USC. Then their bench got involved. This is a really good team. Now you can forget about all those wins. They've got to focus on getting themselves a championship, so they're in the NCAA tournament without having to worry about anything.
All right, let's take a look at the I Love New York key players for our first quarterfinal.
Well, Khalil Thomas with his 12th double-double of the season last night in their win. One of the reasons why he was a third-team All-MAAC selection. And then for Monmouth, Justin Robinson, honored a couple hours ago as the MAAC Player of the Year. And why not? Look at his numbers. He's the guy that makes this high-powered Hawks offense go.
Those key players brought to you by I Love New York. Winter in New York State means more great things to do than ever. Plan your trip at iloveny.com. Tonight's starting lineup brought to you by Lids Team Sports. Riders certainly glad to have their senior from Detroit back in the lineup. Zed Sadler missed 3 games late in the year with an ankle injury. Tedioki Rathler, their fifth-year senior at the point, is the guy who makes this team go. Khalil Thomas, third in the league in rebounds. He is a tough matchup against anybody in this league. Meanwhile, for Monmouth, as Rob just mentioned, Justin Robinson just a short while ago named the 2016 Conference Player of the Year. And Jalon Hornby gets another start here tonight, while Dion Jones, the leading rebounder, continues to recover from hand surgery. The hope is that perhaps Jones could play here this weekend if the Hawks keep winning games. Fourth-year head coach for Ryder, Kevin Baggett, looking to take down his in-state rival from New Jersey. And Monmouth, of course, has King Rice just named the Conference Coach of the Year.
And well-deserved. 17 wins. Doing a terrific job rebuilding this Monmouth Hawks program.
And we are set for basketball. Monmouth comes in with a record of 25-6 overall. They went 17-3 during the regular season. Ryder, meanwhile, comes in with an 8-12 league mark, 13-19 overall.
And you can see how loose King Rice was there, bopping along to the beat of the music as you take a look at this series history.
And King was telling us just about a half an hour ago, that's what he's got to do. He cannot be too tight. He needs for his players to go out and play and have fun.
He said the only thing they had on their whiteboard when they brought their team back in, 3 things: have fun, have fun, have fun.
And then he said the fourth line was, really, have fun.
Exactly. Play loose. You've done a terrific job garnering all the attention all season long. Now you've got to finish it off, but you've got to play without worrying about everything.
Well, it's a whole different mindset coming in as Monmouth is this year. They've had people like us talking all year about their RPI, their BPI, their non-conference wins. Ball loose. Robinson picks it up. Here comes Josh James. Micah Seaborn, redshirt freshman from the Dallas-Fort Worth area, pulls it back out to Robinson.
Yeah, 3 wins here in Albany, and you can throw all that stuff out.
But it sure has been fun to keep track of it throughout the year. Tough shot by Robinson off the glass for 2.
You know, sometimes people look at Justin Robinson. He's 5'8", and they don't realize how strong his upper body is. They say he works harder in the weight room than any player that they have. That deceptive upper body strength allows the little guy to finish amongst the bigs.
Here goes Khalil Thomas. Goes to his offhand. He is a natural southpaw down there. Well, as King Rice has told me, you know, Justin Robinson just didn't become 5'8". He has been the shortest guy on the court from the time he started dribbling a basketball.
I'll never forget Pete Carroll having that line one time about a player that they were recruiting. Scotty Greenman out of South Jersey. He said, he was even smaller. He was 5'6". He said he's been able to figure out how to be a good basketball player at 5'6". That's not changing when he gets here.
Micah Seaborn off the nice ball fake, left the layup short. Here's Oki Raffor, the VCU transfer, playing his second and final year at Rider University. Played a couple of years with the Rams before transferring.
And his first year last year, much better than this year as a senior.
Well, he was preseason first-team All-MAC coming into the year and was named third-team All-MAC at the end of the season. Here's Hornby. The Oklahoma transfer has it rim out.
So Monmouth playing free, but missing shots.
Valentine feeds Thomas on the post. Here goes Sadler. Dumps it off. Thomas off the window for 2.
He's one of the most improved players in the MAAC this year, stepping his scoring up to double figures after averaging less than 6 a game last year.
Offensive foul. Another missed layup for Monmouth, and then the personal goes against the big man, Chris Brady.
Yeah, the Hawks have had open looks, a couple of opportunities right at the rim for King Rice's team, as well as 2 open looks from 3. Just 1 of 6 to start from the team that shoots it so well throughout the regular season at 44%.
Yeah, they lead the MAAC in a lot of categories, including points per game, just over 80 a night. 3-point shooting, 3-point shooting defense, field goal defense. Khalil Alford with a nice turnaround.
And that's one of the guys that Kevin Baggett said, we need him to play well. He's got to score some points. He did in each of the 2 matchups earlier this season against Monmouth, double figures in both games.
Well, of course, it was just about 3 weeks ago where these 2 teams played an instant classic down in Lawrenceville at Rider University, where the Bronx had the Hawks all but beat before the Hawks rattled off the final 14 points of the game to win in incredible fashion, 79-78.
Imagine that, down by 14 with under 4 minutes left to go, and win it in regulation.
I mean, in that game, Rider held Monmouth to only 4 made field goals for the first 16 minutes of the second half. And then for the final 4 minutes of that second half, as Thomas is slow to get up, looks like he's hurt. Monmouth made its final 7 shots in those final 3:57. Blocking foul against James. And let's see if Khalil Thomas is going to have to come out of the ball game. Not sure as he went down to the floor if it was his face that hit the floor. But he needed the encouragement of his coaching staff to get back up.
They need him out on the floor. He gives them a true low-post scorer, able to neutralize the bigs of Monmouth.
And against Monmouth in their 2 matchups this year, he's done very well, averaged 17 points and 11 rebounds. Here he goes to work inside again.
That's a terrific pass, but a terrific catch. You see, he's quick and athletic off his feet to go get it.
Slow start for the reigning regular season champs, Kevin Baggett's club, off the strength of winning their first-round game last night over Quinnipiac, looking to take down Monmouth here tonight in the quarters.
Know that you will always compete against the best while bringing out the best in yourself. Know that you are joining a family with a rich history in both academics and athletics. to know that you will become one of the future leaders of tomorrow. To focus on one goal, graduation. That's the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference, celebrating 35 years of excellence in academics and athletics.
Want to achieve more than you ever thought possible? At Canisius College, you can. A Canisius education is packed with extraordinary opportunities like top-level scientific research, global service experiences, and real-world connections. Want to intern at a Fortune 500 company? Want to get into the best medical and law schools? Want to be a champion for social justice? You can. Here.
Thanks for the ride around Norfolk, and I just wanted to say Geico is proud to have served the military for over 75 years.
Roger that. Captain's waiting to give you a tour of the Wisconsin now.
Could have parked a little bit closer. It's going to be dark by the time I get there.
Geico, proudly serving the military for over 75 years.
MAAC basketball is brought to you by I Love New York. Winter in New York State. There's something for everyone. Plan your trip at iloveny.com. With Rob Kennedy, I'm Doug Sherman back at the Times Union Center in Albany. The host once again for the MAAC basketball championships. And we'd like to bring in the third member of our broadcast team here this weekend. Let's go over to Matt Harmon. Matt.
Doug, thanks so much. As you guys were talking about, Monmouth has been the talk of the league all during the course of this regular season. The win at UCLA, all the celebration and the bench that got so much attention. Hawks, of course, the top seed here in the tournament this year. But, you know, one of the things that you mentioned, guys, with King Rice, Micah Seaborn, and Justin Robinson all winning those three major awards. Talked to all three of them before the game. A unique set of circumstances. The award show was at 5 o'clock. The game here at 7. All three said it didn't affect preparation. Only could get Justin Robinson to say, yeah, it was a little weird, but we still have our focus on the ultimate goal. That's winning a MAAC championship.
All right, thank you, Matt. What do you think, Rob, about just the way it's timed out, the 2 hours before tip-off for the MAAC quarterfinal? They're a couple of blocks away getting their honor.
Oh, it's always hard to try and figure out where you're going to squeeze it in. And certainly no matter what you do, somebody's going to be affected with it because of all the games played with the combination of the men's and women's tournaments being played at the same time and same place.
A couple of missed layups. Now Monmouth 1 for 9 from the floor.
And I think 4 of those have been layups. It's one thing if you're missing shots because the defense is forcing you into tough shots. Monmouth right now is just uncharacteristically not shooting the ball well.
There's something to keep track of. Teddy Oki-Raffer in the win over Quinnipiac last night turned the basketball over 7 times. He did not play well, but ultimately at the end of the game, he turned him over and made the couple of free throws as we see Thomas on the bench getting some gauze on that lip. But Oki-Raffer, as you talked about a few minutes ago, Rob, has not had the senior season he had hoped for, but he certainly can rectify that by stringing together 3 or 4 games here this weekend.
Everybody forgets about whatever went on in the regular season if you can make a run here late.
So again, yesterday he had missed 4 of 5 free throws before making the 2 that won the game right at the end. Air ball by Diego Quinn.
And that's a different scenario. That's good defense by Ryder, forcing a bad shot late in the shot clock by Monmouth.
Xavier Lundy goes right at Quinn, who ties him up. How about the stat line for Diego Quinn in the regular season finale? 16 rebounds in only 16 minutes played.
Oh, he's a big body. He's a guy that's going to be a good interior player for Monmouth. He's come on here as his freshman season is worn on. Every bit of 6'9" as Thomas comes back in.
Looks like he's got a little bit of a bloody bottom lip. He's got 4 of the Riders' 6 points. Dangerous pass. If Quinn had turned his head, could have had an easy steal. Here's that matchup. Thomas shows the ball, then lost it. Justin Robinson, head up, drops it back for Seaborn. Good defense by Zedric Sadler.
Yeah, good defense to get back. 4 turnovers already for the Bronx, but Monmouth has not been able to cash in on those turnovers.
Quick release by Robinson. Diego Quinn with a putback.
Well, there's that size and rebounding ability you were just talking about. Carves out space. As we said, He's a guy that in a couple of years got a chance to be one of the better posts in this league.
Oki Raffer for three. Way off the mark.
Yeah, he is just not right.
Now, when was the last time in this league, Rob, and you and I have been around the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference for a long time. When was the last time a team had three effective guys the size Monmouth does that they can rely on?
Oh, it's definitely different. Right from the start, King Rice had basically the two-headed monster center. And now as well with Diego Quinn and his size, they've got a lot of choices of bigs that they can throw inside. One of the reasons why they've been able to compete against the high majors in the non-conference schedule. They've got 5 wins over power conferences, certainly because of this guy with the basketball as he creates contact, but also because their size, they don't get beat up on the backboards and defensively with post scores.
Yeah, we're talking about Chris Brady, the starting center, Zach Tillman, his backup, and then Diego Quinn, the freshman, who's come on so nicely. And in their second regular season matchup against Rider, the big two of Brady and Tillman really caused the Bronx trouble inside. 12 points for Tillman, and Brady was just as effective. And if Monmouth gets that sort of production, plus you throw that man in, Diego Quinn into the mix, that's a tremendous formula.
Yeah, they pounded the basketball inside continuously in that game. Outscored them 44-26 in the paint. That's one of the things that Kevin Baggett was concerned about today. So we got to do a good job on the backboards when they get out rebounded there by 8 in that second meeting. And we've got to not allow those points in the paint.
Jimmy Taylor's come into the game for Coach Baggett, coming off a terrific 18-point effort in last night's win over Quinnipiac. Thomas off the mark. Robinson with a rebound, and he'll dribble up. The 2016 MAAC Player of the Year gets tied up by Oki Raffer. Let's see whose basketball it is. It'll stay with the Hawks. What you thought about a team like Rider having to play a first-round game last night? They were pushed. It was a competitive game, but the reality is they got their butterflies, if you will, out. And Monmouth is certainly well rested right now, but they're working through their first game, perhaps jitters here tonight.
I think that first game's always an interesting tale about how your team's going to respond. And, you know, sometimes you get teams that come out a ball of fire. I'm telling you what, Manhattan last night, they were all over this court. I mean, they had energy like I haven't seen all season long from them. And then some teams come in and they're a little tight. So you just don't know as a coach what type of energy you're going to get from your team and how much they're going to have those jitters early.
Micah Seaborn makes the first free throw. And he'll get one more. Redshirt freshman from Fort Worth, Texas.
It's interesting. I was talking to Tim Kluse trying to ask him, hey, how do you think your team's going to respond? He says, I have no idea.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you practice great, you show up and you don't play well. He used the example last year of their matchup in the semifinals against this Monmouth team. Isaiah Williams had been injured, hurt, wasn't playing well, hadn't practiced much. All of a sudden he hits 9 threes in the game. You never saw that coming. So he said you just don't know how guys are going to react.
And then the next night last year in the championship against Manhattan, Isaiah couldn't do a thing.
Yep.
So you just never know. Oki Raffer has it poked away, gets it back, recovers over to Taylor. Step back three. That's going to be off the mark. Khalil Alford up and over Colin Stewart for the rebound, but then the Hawks take it away.
Quick hands at Justin Robinson to poke it.
Colin Stewart. He loves this building from nearby Glenville, New York. His career high came here against Siena last year when he scored 21.
Well, maybe that can get his shooting going. Just 3 of 22 from 3 coming in over the last 5 games. He's been playing banged up.
Seaborn going for the steal, but he is going to be called for the foul.
A good energy by Monmouth at the defensive end. After a sluggish start offensively, they've been able to create turnovers for King Rice to get their offense jump-started.
Well, we've got the last 2 MAAC coaches of the year matching up. Baggett won it last year. King Rice, of course, just named Coach of the Year a little while ago today. And again, King told us, Coach, before the game, you're not going to see me yelling on the sideline today. I don't want my guys to feed off of any negative energy. Just want them to go have fun. Monmouth basketball. Nice job defensively by Zach Tillman. That takes us to our under 12 media timeout. We'll step away. The Hawks have bounced back, rattling off 10 straight points. They're on top 12-6.
Coach, great start for Thomas down inside. Is that a point of emphasis to try and pound the ball low?
Yeah, we want to go inside to them as much as we can, but we need to move the ball. We need to move bodies. We got a little stagnant and allowing them their guys to be a little more aggressive. We got to back cut at times. We just got to be aggressive in every aspect.
And defensively, I thought you guys got off to a great start. Obviously, that's the trick to stopping Monmouth, figuring out a way to slow them down.
Absolutely, and getting back on defense, trying to keep Justin out of lane as much as we can.
Coach, I appreciate you doing this. Best of luck.
Thank you very much.
Monmouth Hawks are on a 10-0 run to take the lead over Rider in our 1-8 quarterfinal. Let's go over to Matt, who just a moment ago talked to Rider head coach Kevin Baggett.
Coach, great start for Thomas down inside. Is that a point of emphasis to try and pound the ball low?
Yeah, we want to go inside to them as much as we can, but we need to move the ball. We need to move bodies. We got a little stagnant and allowing them their guys to be a little more aggressive. We got to back cut at times. We just got to be aggressive in every aspect.
And defensively, I thought you guys got off to a great start. Obviously, that's the trick to stopping Monmouth, figuring out a way to slow them down.
Absolutely, and getting back on defense, trying to keep Justin out of lane as much as we can.
Coach, I appreciate you doing this. Best of luck.
Thank you very much.
And Rob, you and I were talking during that break. Monmouth provides an unusual combination for opponents in that they are so good offensively, but they also defend you. They lead the league in points, free throw shooting, shooting from beyond the arc, but they also lead the MAAC in field goal percentage defense and three-point field goal percentage defense.
And that's one of the reasons, that balance, their ability to score the basketball as well as defend it, one of the reasons why they went 17-3 in the regular season and won the championships. You know, you think of some of those really high-scoring Iona teams. If they get off to a slow start offensively, they just shoot their way out of it.
Yep.
Monmouth here, this has been different. This 10-0 run has been fueled almost exclusively by their defense, forcing the 5 turnovers against the Bronx.
Layup by Tillman inside. 4 steals already by Justin Robinson, who leads the league at 2.1 steals per game.
Yeah, and they average over 8 as a team. So they're quick, and they use that quickness. That's why they defend the three-point line so well.
Double team comes from Stewart, who takes away the lob pass and gets it to his point guard, Robinson.
They've got to be one of the few teams in the country that leads their league in three-point field goal percentage and three-point field goal percentage defense.
Mike Seaborn front rimmed it. Yeah, when was the last time you saw that? You just don't see those two statistical categories match up.
Exactly. A lot of times if you're a good shooting team, then you don't defend as well out on the perimeter. But they've got the quickness to defend it, and they've got the shooters to knock down shots.
James and Hornbeek return. Seaborn and Robinson go out.
The other thing, they always have fresh legs because King Rice is not afraid to use his bench. And that depth, one of the reasons why over the long haul of the regular season they've been so good.
Well, they go 10 deep. Long rebound comes to Austin Tillman. Strong to the bucket, missed the rim, and we've got a foul on the rebound. Or just out of bounds, it'll come back the other way. No foul. Rider basketball. Yeah, King Rice had an 11-man rotation before the injury to Deion Jones, and you felt like if any team was set up to absorb that loss, losing their top rebounder, it certainly is Monmouth, but at the same time, I think it hurt them more than just on the statistical sheet.
Yeah, he's their second best player. To me, there's no way that he shouldn't have been at least on the second team all-league. He's a guy who I think is so key to this Monmouth team, and one of the things that he's done that you gotta love if you're a coach is he's sacrificed. He's a guy that could score it more, but he isn't worried about that. He's worried about helping them win games.
Keelan Ives is fouled by Josh James. I was at Monmouth shoot-around on game day a couple of Fridays ago, right after Deion Jones had his hand surgery. And I'd asked the coaches just before that, and King Rice told me he's in a great place. He's doing well. Mentally he's good. We still have hope that he might be able to come back at some point. But then it was borne out at 4:56 p.m. King and I are sitting down at the other bench, and the Monmouth practice just stopped because all the players ran off the court, hooting and hollering and jumping around, and we didn't know what they were doing. It's because Dion walked into the building, and they were embracing their brother.
They knew how important he was to their team, and as well, senior leader, the only senior on this team. So the Hawks certainly have had a great year, and they got an opportunity to continue to keep things going for a while here with their young talent.
And you just got a little taste of the bench mob.
Yeah.
They saw they were up on the
Dan
jumbotron,
Polari
and they
leaning in.
Get a little
The
FaceTime.
linchpin.
There is that Monmouth defense double teaming at every turn. Okie Raffer had it knocked out of bounds.
There was two Tillmans trapping you there in the corner.
No relation, no same spelling either. Zach Tillman is Tillman. Austin is Tilghman.
Apparently that was the Tillman trap.
Into the game for the first time, Pierre Sarr, another one of those versatile freshmen who has given good minutes as the season has gone on for Coach Riley. Ives with a clean look, and he hits. Freshman from Providence has his first 3 points, cuts the lead to 5. Stewart, no good on the three. Long rebound, Zach Tillman. Jelon Hornby, nice up fake, and just couldn't finish.
Yeah, put it on the glass, had a good angle. Instead, tried to hit the little teardrop. So much easier when you put it on the glass.
Nice hesitation by Okie Raffer, and another clean look. This time it's Taylor.
He couldn't miss last night. 5 of 6 from beyond the three-point line. Not the case in the early going here.
Yeah, and you talk about coaches not knowing what they're going to get. How do you figure Taylor last year as a sophomore led the league in three-point shooting accuracy at 46%. This year he's down to 37%, but then last night he can't miss.
It's been a tough season for Kevin Baggett because of all their consistency all season long. As we said, Okie Raffer hasn't had the type of year that Kevin Baggett had hoped for. Jimmy Taylor's been all over the place. Played well some games, hasn't other games. What they haven't had, Doug, is all 4 of their top players play well on the same night. Not once in their 32 games so far this year.
Tough to win ball games that way. They have lost 19 of those 42 games.
Yeah, and they're a team whose roster doesn't quite match their record. You know, look at what people thought was going to happen coming into the season. They were preseason picked to finish 3rd in the MAAC. Haven't lived up to those expectations because of the wild inconsistencies throughout the year.
Okie Raffer out. Sean Valentine in. Jelon Hornbeek goes out. And it looks like Justin Robinson has returned. Ives uses the screen from Thomas. Nice job by Tillman.
Great defense.
He anticipated perfectly and then able to finish. Got that wide body, looks like a football player, going to the basket.
Well, he was a football player in high school, a 2-sport star at Archbishop Carroll.
That's in Pennsylvania. He's a Wilmington, Delaware native. Justin Robinson with his 5th steal of the night.
He is all over the place. So quick defensively. Quick feet and even quicker hands.
And I like what he did right there. He knew that he was trying to pass to a big in transition. He made sure he gave him a nice, easy bounce pass to catch. And a good job by Brady not to do too much with it. Catch the ball and get it out. Well, Monmouth has picked it up after a slow start. They've got themselves a 7-point lead. Plenty of reason for that Monmouth bench mob to get fired up. Here's the football/basketball player Tillman and his friends over on the bench, giving them an opportunity to flex right back.
Deep within you is a relentless drive. You come prepared. You come willing to work. You come to win. Discover the Performance Protein Bar made just for you. Come ready. 24 grams of protein, 5 grams of fiber, no sugar alcohols. One unbelievably awesome taste. Come ready. You don't quit, and neither should your bar. Come ready for the competitor in you.
right, everybody. If this doesn't get your toes tapping, then check your pulse.
The joy of cola. Joy of bubbles, joy of fun, joy of Pepsi on your tongue. Greatest taste sensation under the sun. Pepsi Cola.
Back at the Times Union Center in Albany, our first men's quarterfinal of this 2016 MAAC Basketball Championship. And MAAC fans, stay up to date on all the latest news by following the MAAC on social media. Log on to Facebook.com/MAAC Sports and follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat using the handle @MAAC Sports. And all the major awards were handed out earlier today here in Albany. And as we talked about, Justin Robinson got the vote for Player of the Year. And of course, the talk for the last several weeks, was it going to be him or A.J. English of Iona? And Rob, what do you think about the coach's decision to name number 12 for the Hawks as the Player of the Year?
Well, you and I talked about it for a while in our Sunday broadcast, and I said, you know what, I think it's going to be very close. It was a 6-5 vote, not surprised by that. And at the end, I said, you know what, I'd go with Justin Robinson because his team won the regular season championship. But I would have had no problem. If there were 12 teams in the league, it might have been co-MVPs and co-Player of the Year. Those two guys, not much separating them.
And the two of them were two of the three unanimous first-team picks, along with Siena's Brett Bisping. No, Bisping was not unanimous.
Yeah, I think only two guys. And I see the inquisitive look on your face, and when I saw that, that's the first thing I said as well.
I thought that it was.
You and I said that it was obviously going to be three unanimous, but I think it was just two.
Well, I'm going to have to double-check that. I thought I saw the asterisk there on the list earlier this week. I easily could stand corrected. Well, we'll get our chance to see Brett Bisping and the Siena Saints tomorrow night in the first men's quarterfinal of the Saturday action. Got to stop and think. Is it Friday? Is it Saturday? We're so used to having all four quarterfinals on Saturday.
It's like a day at the park for you and I.
It is. It is. Well, the league switched things this year to benefit the top two seeds to allow Monmouth and Iona, as it turned out, to have a day off between the quarters and semis, assuming they win their quarterfinal game. But really, you and I benefit more than anybody. That we don't have to do 4 games in one day.
They were just thinking about you, Doug. And I don't know about you, but I love the day off in between.
Yes.
Anything you can do to reward people for a terrific regular season, I think you need to do that. I like this format.
Well, I was a big advocate of many years ago in the Bobby Gonzalez era at Manhattan that they got a double bye to the semifinals for winning the regular season championship, and Gonzo didn't bring his teams up here to Albany for the tournament until Saturday night to play on Sunday, and some folks thought that was too much of a reward. But I like that as well, the fact that it validates what you did in the regular season.
It just ended up backfiring a couple times where you're just sitting around too long. WCC tried it as well, and they got away from it. Sometimes you just need to get out there and get your energy going in the tournament. But the fact that you don't have to win 3 games in 3 days, I think is a good reward.
.640 remaining first half. Ryder led this one 6-2, but then Monmouth went on a quick 10-0 run and has been leading ever since. Another steal. This time it was Brady getting his hand on the pass.
Yeah, good post defense. Everybody guard. That's the 9th turnover that they've created with 8 steals.
There goes Robinson.
So quick.
Valentine, tough matchup for him. He's so long, did a nice job to stay with him. But the putback by Brady.
He's just so big. It's 6'10", carves out space. He can rebound flat-footed at times.
Yeah, 6'10", 250, a junior from Greenlawn, New York. Double team for a moment, then Stewart backs off.
And he's a guy that has really gotten better.
Valentine spotting up in the corner. He was halfway down, came out. Sarr had it for a moment. Oki Raffer fights for it. Nice job by the Riders' senior point guard. And the possession arrow goes the other way.
Well, dribble penetration by Justin Robinson. Good defense by Valentine to use his length, but there's Brady using his size to just go over top of everybody.
Well, you mentioned how he has progressed, and he's in such much better shape than when he got to campus coming out of high school, and really has become an effective player on both ends. Here he is with the basketball. He and the Hawks up 10. Lots of eyeballs on Robinson every time he's got the ball. He has it rim out. Taylor closed hard, but with all the attention on Robinson, perhaps that opens up inside to crash the glass for Brady.
They did a good job rolling deep into the lane and then carving out space for the offensive board.
Thomas finishes no. Brady pulls the miss.
Thomas, good move. He's got the quickness against Brady.
Another missed layup by Austin Tillman. Under 5 minutes to go first half. Okie Rafford sends Stewart flying by. Taylor thought about it. Back to Okie Rafford.
Just not playing with any confidence. He's passing up good shots.
Stewart's going to be called for the foul. They say it was clean up top, but caught the shooter in the head. And so Thomas will head to the free throw line.
Good dish off there by Okie Rafford, but he had two good wide open looks from three on that possession. But it's a funny thing. When you see a guy who's lost his confidence, he just doesn't look like the same player. Clearly, that's what's going on with Okie Rafford right now.
No doubt. And the one jump shot he has tried here in the first half, he missed badly, and that only further makes him probably think more than he should.
It's so funny how confidence has such an effect on how you play in almost any sport.
I mean, there's a guy who went for 38 points against Marist back in the middle of January. First team all preseason in the MAAC. Was a high-level recruit coming out of high school. Went to high school in Christchurch, high school in Virginia, but he is from London, England. And yet here as a fifth-year senior struggling with that confidence. And there's another turnover. That one not so much forced by the Monmouth defense. The Bronx just give it away.
And good timeout there by Kevin Baggett. See the energy from King Rice, likes his team's energy here after that slow start.
We'll take a break. Hawks up 21-9 over the Bronx.
I'm Mike Richter, and I love New York. There's no place like it in the world, especially in the winter. You know I love to play on the ice, but I also love the snow. New York has over 50 ski mountains, more than any other state. So carve some turns, catch some air, or snowmobile in a state with over 10,000 miles of trails. New York State is a winter wonderland. So plan your trip at iloveny.com. There's something for everyone.
Fulfill your educational goals on a 22-acre private residential campus just minutes away from the world's economic, cultural, communications, and entertainment center, New York City. For more than 160 years, Manhattan College has promised a Lasallian Catholic education featuring 5 schools of study that challenge students to excel academically while providing career opportunities second to none. Find out what Manhattan College can promise your future.
Fans having some fun here at the Times Union Center as we play the first quarterfinal of the men's championship of the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference. The award winners, here they are, just unveiled earlier today, and it was all Monmouth and all Siena. And do you have any issues, Rob Kennedy, with any of those 5 choices?
No, Micah Seaburn made a run late, and he played so well coming down the stretch. I think that's what got him over the top. Other than that, Nico Clarith, what he's done as the 6th man, giving him terrific offense off the bench as a freshman. This is a really deep rookie class. I've got no problem with any of those award winners.
And Javion Oganyemi, the junior at Siena, who led the league and leads the league in blocked shots per game. And sometimes it's hard to quantify, especially perimeter defenders. Justin Robinson, obviously a terrific defensive player with all the steals. But I think a lot of times the defensive player of the year, you automatically go to the guy inside who's blocking a lot of shots.
Blocking shots, rebounding the basketball. Yep. Roundtree would have been the other guy that would have potentially been, I think, a potential defensive player of the year in the league.
Yeah, top 4 in the league in both block shots and steals, and you and I mentioned him last week as well.
Yeah, and that's
Ogunyemi, a good choice as well.
You see the points off turnovers. Monmouth so active defensively. 8 steals, forcing 10 Rider turnovers.
Colin Stewart working on Taylor. Misses the pull-up. Taylor with the rebound. Rider had 6 points in the first 3 minutes of the game. They've scored 3 since. And they just keep turning the ball over and have had a hard time getting anything going here on the offensive end. Let's go back over to Matt Harmon.
Doug, just poked my head into the Monmouth huddle. King Rice happy with the way his team is playing right now, but the one point of emphasis was trying to shoot the three-pointers a little bit closer to the line. Hawks are 1 of 9 right now from outside. And, Rob, as you know, it's a team that when they get going, they are so dangerous from the outside. Coach Rice just unhappy with how deep they're taking their threes.
Yeah, King Rice's team shoots it at 37% on the season. You mentioned Doug, best in the league. So as poorly as Riders played offensively, because they've guarded at the other end and because, quite frankly, Monmouth has just missed some open shots, still in the ballgame.
Seaborn, the MAAC Rookie of the Year, passes up to Stewart. Another shot off the mark. Taylor dribbles through traffic off to Oki Raffer. 3:30 remaining first half.
And they missed Valentine. He was wide open underneath.
Khalil Alford lowered his shoulder and he's called for the foul. It's another Bronx turnover.
Good defense. You see clearly had both position and both feet outside the restricted arc.
Rider came into this game averaging 12.5 turnovers per game. They've already got 11, Rob, in the first 16 minutes and change. Coach Baggett's team finished in a tie for 7th place during the regular season with Canisius, but by virtue of tiebreakers, the Griffs were the 7th seed, and the Bronx here are the 8th seed.
And Kevin Baggett just got a bench warning. It's like a fake technical. It's like a pump fake, you know what I mean?
Nice job by Alford to block the shot and landed out of bounds with the basketball, so the Hawks will keep it. What do you think that does to a coach? Does it make him back off? Certainly at the moment it doesn't look like Coach Baggett's backing off.
I was just going to say the same thing. He's not backing down. He's getting an earful right now.
There's a perimeter shot made by Micah Seaborn.
As we said, over the last 9 games, playing so well, averaging 16 a game and shooting it at 42% for beyond 3. Why he was able to come from behind in that Rookie of the Year race.
Yeah, what a great rookie class, as you mentioned, Rob. Brian Parker at Marist, Nico Clarith, who got 6th Man of the Year. And, of course, Antoine Portley, the sensational first-year player for St. Peter's that has helped John Dunn's club do a lot better than most folks thought they would.
And a really deep, talented freshman class for Fairfield. There are a couple of guys here at Monmouth, Pierre Sarr and Diego Quinn, who I think are going to be good MAAC players as time goes on. Yeah, there's good depth in this freshman class, and that's always so important.
Well, for as much as Monmouth loves Deion Jones and King Rice credits his 23-year-old senior captain with being everything this team could want, he says, oh, I can't wait till next year. I mean, as they get their new recruits in, and with this loaded team of mostly juniors, sophomores, and freshmen, Monmouth is set for another good year next year.
Yeah, this is not going to be a one and done for them. I mean, they certainly are positioned to do well. One of the reasons why King Rice was rewarded with a new 5-year contract just last week.
Yep.
A lot of new contracts around the league.
Jim Barron.
Yep.
Steve Masiello at Manhattan. Is that it? Those 3 in the last Few days.
In the last 10 days, yeah.
Good time to be a coach in the MAAC.
And certainly King Rice, his name is going to be thrown around at jobs that would be opening throughout the country, especially here on the East Coast. But he's very happy at the Jersey Shore. He's very happy with the commitment that Monmouth made to him. And they gave him a contract extension before last season, and that meant a lot to him. Marilyn McNeil and the administration at Monmouth, before they turned it around, gave him a new contract, and so he rewarded them as well by showing his commitment to stay with the Hawks.
Well, you know, every time Monmouth knocked off one of the big boys in the early season, you'd see an interview live with King Rice after the game, and he would immediately thank Maryland and the administration. And I don't think it was just politicking.
No,
you got
genuine.
a genuine sense that he appreciated the fact that that's the school that gave him a chance, and then reaffirmed, despite having a lot of losses piling up, they reaffirmed with that contract saying, you're still our guy.
He's very interesting. He's very open when you talk to him.
Yeah.
I had him come and talk to our staff before the season. And basically we bring in outside coaches that come in and do stuff on the floor, just for my guys that work for us. So it's a coach's clinic. He opened up for the first 30 minutes of that coach's clinic of an hour, more than any coach I've ever seen. And it was totally genuine. Appreciative to everybody who's helped him get here. He fully understands where he's come from. Some things that he's had to overcome, a lot different than other people have had. And he is really happy with where he's at, but he's got a terrific perspective about it all.
King Rice had some tough circumstances growing up in Binghamton, New York, and wound up going to the University of North Carolina and was a 4-year regular for the legendary Dean Smith of North Carolina. He's paid his dues as an assistant coach, as Seaborn is going to be called for the foul running through that screen. But I find it interesting, King Rice has himself at the National Coach of the Year conversation. I mean, it's likely to go to somebody like Tom Crean at Indiana or Roy Williams perhaps at Carolina, depending on how things shake out. But for a guy from Monmouth who until last year hadn't had a winning record, to be in that conversation so quickly, it really is nice to see. This Monmouth program has never won more basketball games than they have this year, 25-6, and that shatters the old record. And as we've said, he is already looking forward to next year. He is so excited about the recruiting class coming in and what his staff has done. Sam Ferry, Rick Callahan. Minute 40 remaining first half. Hornby works around Sadler. And he's able to bank it in. Nice finish.
Yeah, good elevation through contact.
Well, he's got the skill set and the athletic ability to, if it all comes together for him, he could be a MAAC Player of the Year candidate next year.
Yeah, you can see that athleticism. You see why he started his first 2 years at Oklahoma.
And again, he was part of that recruiting class with Buddy Hield and company. I imagine when he watched Senior Day a few days ago in Norman, it must have been kind of weird to see. He's still very, very close to that entire class that he spent 2 years with. And those were his brothers, But transferred to Monmouth for a chance. Actually came kind of as a package deal with that man right there. Coach Rice was recruiting Micah Seaborn out of Grace Prep in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And they said, you ought to look at my old high school teammate, Jelon Hornbeek, who's looking to leave Oklahoma, looking for a new spot. So they looked at him, of course, liked what they saw, and all of a sudden you got 2 Texans on the Jersey Shore.
Yeah, most package deals don't work out like that.
Yeah.
One guy's really good, and then you take the other guy. When you get 2 guys in a package deal that can help you win games,
it's pretty good.
Yeah, exactly.
We've talked a lot about it since Monmouth joined this league 3 years ago. They have a lot of things going for them. They're set up to succeed, and King Rice has taken advantage of it. Okie Rafford dribbles into the double team. Here comes Austin Tillman on the leak out. Nice hustle back by Keelan Ives, who's called for the foul.
Well, you can't win ball games when you turn it over 13 times and you just let everybody keep taking your lunch. Okie Raffer again gets himself in trouble. No place to go. Justin Robinson doing what he does better than anybody in the league. Come up with the basketball.
He must feel, Okie Raffer, like he's dealing with a little bit of havoc. He was part of havoc at VCU for a couple of years for Shaka Smart, but seems like every time he puts the ball on the floor, he's got a couple of guys coming at him, taking it from him.
Well, talking to Kevin Backett earlier today, he said, I'm going to try and get up and press, see if we can't be the aggressor in this game. They haven't scored to be able to get up in any kind of pressure, and they have been on their heels except for that first 4 minutes of the ball game.
And the reality is, Rob, they just don't have the depth to hang with Monmouth in that regard. Plus, they played a game last night. So I would think that would be very hard to sustain if you're Ryder. Ives spins away from the defense. Thomas had it for a moment. Back out to Ives. Shot clock at 28. Game clock at about 35. Step back Ives for 2. And Tillman has it for Monmouth. The Hawks can hold for a final shot.
Yeah, step back guarded 2s aren't going to get it done either.
Seconds to go in the half. Diego Quinn sets a screen for Colin Stewart as Robinson drives into Ives, who took it away. Can he get the shot off? To the rim. They're going to count it. So a big change of fortunes to head into the locker room. Good finish for Ryder. Off the steal by Ives.
Yeah, Ives doing what Monmouth did all first half. Force the turnover and then convert it the other end. Let's see if that can give the Bronx a bit of a lift.
Well, the 8 seed trying to take down the 1 seed, but right now at halftime it's 32-16. The regular season champs comfortably in front. Our MAAC halftime report from Albany, New York, coming up next.
Teddy, tough offensive first half for you guys. Looking ahead now to half number 2, what do you guys have to do to shake things up a little bit more?
We just have to space out more, be shot ready. We're passing up open shots, and that's not something we can do against a team like this. They're helping a lot, so we got to be shot ready and make open shots.
You know, defensively, you've been able to hold them to under 30%. I would imagine the effort there defensively has been fine. Just got to get things going offensively.
Yeah, defensively we're fine. We're doing a good job of helping and making sure Justin and other guys don't get open shots. And then we're just turning the ball over too much and getting out rebounded, I think. So I don't have to check the numbers, but I know we're getting out rebounded and they're getting second chance points, which is hurting us.
Teddy, appreciate you coming by. Best of luck.
Appreciate it.
Just take a step this way, Jack. Justin, tough one for you to get going here offensively a little bit. Tell me what Ryder is doing to make things so difficult.
They have great help defense right now in the gaps. We have to move the ball quicker on the offensive end. The more we share the ball, the harder it's going to be for teams to guard us. So if we just continue to share the ball, we'll be all right.
You know, the one thing, obviously, and it's been a key for you guys all year long, so many guys can score when needed.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't have to score, but the guys depend on me to score. So if I'm going, they're going, and vice versa. If they're going, I'm going. We just feed off of each other.
Appreciate you coming by, giving us a minute. Best of luck in the second half.
No problem. Thank you.
Tonight's halftime entertainment is brought to you by the New York Lottery. Please welcome to the floor the Ryder shirt team.
Monmouth 32, Ryder 16 in our first men's quarterfinal. We've reached halftime and a moment ago, Matt Harmon caught up with Ryder's Teddy Oki Raffer.
Teddy, tough offensive first half for you guys. Looking ahead now to half number 2, what do you guys have to do to shake things up a little bit more?
We just have to space out more, be shot ready. We're passing up open shots, and that's not something we can do against a team like this. They're helping a lot, so we got to be shot ready and make open shots.
You know, defensively, you've been able to hold them to under 30%. I would imagine the effort there defensively has been fine. Just got to get things going offensively.
Yeah, defensively we're fine. We're doing a good job of helping and making sure Justin and other guys don't get open shots. And then we're just turning the ball over too much and getting out rebounded, I think. So I don't have to check the numbers, but I know we're getting out rebounded and they're getting second chance points, which is hurting us.
Teddy, appreciate you coming by. Best of luck.
Appreciate it.
Yes, indeed, Monmouth is out rebounding Ryder 23-19. Here's a look at the bracket here in Albany at the Times Union Center. The winner of this game will get the winner of tomorrow's second quarterfinal between St. Peter's and Fairfield. Our second game here tonight between Iona and Canisius. Let's see what the Golden Griffins have left after that triple overtime thriller last night, the first round game where they beat Niagara 102-97. Tough turnaround to take on the second-seeded Gales tonight. And then the fourth quarterfinal actually is going to be played tomorrow night at 7 o'clock between Siena and Manhattan. And the Jaspers came out and really just punched Marist in the mouth last night and easily beat the Red Foxes in that 6-11 game. So you know the two-time defending champs from Manhattan are going to be a tough out, whether it's in the quarterfinals tomorrow against Siena or beyond that here in Albany this weekend and running into Monday. 7 o'clock championship game, which can be seen on ESPN. Take a break and come back with more of our halftime report from Albany. Monmouth 32, Ryder 16.
The ball is tipped, and there you are. You're running for your life. You're a shooting star. One shining moment is all on the line. One shining moment. That's good.
All right, everybody, if this doesn't get your toes tapping, then check your pulse.
Ba 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 ba. The joy of cola, joy of bubbles, joy of fun, joy of Pepsi on your tongue. Greatest taste sensation under the sun. Ba 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 ba. Pepsi Cola.
Know that you will always compete against the best while bringing out the best in yourself. Know that you are joining a family with a rich history in both academics and athletics. To know that you will become one of the future leaders of tomorrow. To focus on one goal, graduation. That's the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference, celebrating 35 years of excellence in academics and athletics.
Hey, guess what day it is?
Hump day!
Hump day! It's hump day!
Hey, Mike! Mike!
Guess what day it is? Hey, Camel! Guess what day it is?
It's not even Wednesday.
Let it go, Phil. If you're a camel, you put up with this all the time. It's what you do. If you want to save 15% or more on car insurance, you switch to Geico. It's what you do.
Okay.
Hawks lead the Bronx 32-16 in our first men's quarterfinal. Let's now take a look at who the finalists were for the 2016 MAAC Player of the Year Award.
Men's All-MAAC first team. Marcus Gilbert, Fairfield University. Gilbert, a 6'6" senior forward from Smyrna, Delaware, was named to the All-MAAC first team after leading Fairfield to a 5th-place finish in the regular season. He ranks 4th in the MAAC in scoring, averaging 17.1 points, and 3rd in the league in 3-point field goals per game, averaging 2.6 an outing. Gilbert also ranks 9th in defensive rebounds, averaging 4.5 per game, and 10th in 3-point field goal percentage, shooting 38.4%. A.J. English, Iona College. English, a 6'4" senior guard from Wilmington, Delaware, was named unanimously to the All-MAAC first team for the 2nd straight year and makes the team for the 3rd consecutive season overall. He leads the MAAC in scoring, averaging 22.3 points, and leads the league in assists, averaging 6.1 per game. English also leads the conference with 3.3 made three-point field goals per contest and ranks 6th with an 84% free throw percentage. The unanimous preseason player of the year was named MAAC Player of the Week 3 times this season. Shane Richards, Manhattan College. Richards, a 6'5" senior forward from New York, New York, earns a spot on the All-MAAC first team for the first time. He finishes the regular season ranked 5th in the league in scoring, averaging 17 points per game. Richards ranks 2nd in free throw percentage, connecting on 87.3% of his charity stripe shots, and he also ranks 7th in three-point field goals made per game with 2.5. He is the league leader in minutes played per game this season, logging 36.6 minutes for the Jaspers. Justin Robinson, Monmouth University. Robinson, a 5'8" junior guard from Lake Katrine, New York, makes the All-MAAC first team for the second year in a row after leading Monmouth to its first ever MAAC regular season title and program record 25 wins. He is currently ranked 3rd in conference with his 20.2 points per game average and 7th in assists with a 3.7 average. Robinson's 2.1 steals per contest leads the league, and his 1.7 assists to turnover ratio is good for 6th. He won MAAC Player of the Week 3 times during his junior campaign. Brett Bisping, Siena College. Bisping, a 6'8" redshirt junior forward from Peoria, Illinois, led a Siena team that lost 20 games last season to 20 wins in a 3rd-place MAAC finish in the 2015-16 season. He is a league leader in rebounds, grabbing 10.4 boards per game and ranks 8th in scoring, averaging 15.8 points per outing. Bisping leads the league with 8.1 defensive rebounds per game and ranks 7th in offensive rebounds, averaging 2.3 per contest. He was named MAAC Player of the Week 3 times this year. Player of the Year, Justin Robinson, Monmouth University.
And there's a look at the All-MAAC first team for 2016. We've got 3 seniors and 2 juniors, but Robinson takes home the top prize. And here in the first quarterfinal, we have seen him at his best. He already has 6 steals. That ties the all-time MAAC tournament record, and he's done it in just a single half.
I'll tell you what, if he keeps going, he's going to blow that one away.
We'll take a break and come back as we get closer to the start of the second half. Monmouth has held Rider to its season low, just 16 points and a half. Hawks already eyeing a spot in the MAAC semifinals on Sunday.
I'm Mike Richter, and I love New York. There's no place like it in the world, especially in the winter. You know I love to play on the ice, but I also love the snow. New York has over 50 ski mountains, more than any other state. So carve some turns, catch some air, or snowmobile in a state with over 10,000 miles of trails. New York State is a winter wonderland. So plan your trip at iloveny.com. There's something for everyone.
You must do the thing you think you cannot do.
The mind is everything. What you think, you become.
It is not best that we should all think alike.
He who learns but does not think is lost.
The main purpose of life is to live rightly, think rightly, act rightly.
Oh, the things you could think up if only you try.
Deep within you is a relentless drive. You come prepared. You come willing to work. You come to win. Discover the Performance Protein Bar made just for you. Come ready. 24 grams of protein, 5 grams of fiber, no sugar alcohols. One unbelievably awesome taste. Come ready. You don't quit, and neither should your bar. Come ready for the competitor in you.
The right education can inspire you to do anything. Challenge yourself. Prepare for success. This is your moment to create, explore, discover, matter to each other and to the world. be inspired to do anything at Monmouth University.
Back in Albany, New York, where Monmouth, the number 1 seed here in the MAAC tournament in 2016, has a comfortable 16-point lead over Ryder. And welcome back inside the Times Union Center. Doug Sherman with Rob Kennedy, and it's not often that a team shoots 26.5% in the first half, yet leads like Monmouth does.
If they made some shots, they might be up 25 or 30 points in the first half. Their defense was stifling and dominant.
Okay, let's take a look at the first half highlights. And the first bucket of the game, not surprisingly, made by the Conference Player of the Year.
Justin Robinson with his upper body strength, but that was his only made field goal. Monmouth doing a good job on the offensive glass. They had a 9-0 advantage in second chance points. They had plenty of chances at missed shots. They couldn't make threes, just 2 of 10 from beyond the three-point line. So what they did, they were able to score the basketball inside. But really it was their defense that got things going. 19 of Monmouth's points in that first half were created off of turnovers. Justin Robinson and company couldn't find the mark, but it didn't matter. As we said, Doug, if they made some shots early on, they might be up by 30 because guys like Seaborn can shoot it, even though the Hawks were just an uncharacteristic 2 of 12 from beyond 3 in that first half.
And there you see our Geico first half stats. 10 steals for Monmouth, including 6 by Robinson, as mentioned, tying the single game record in MAAC tournament history, and he's got 20 more minutes to play. Or if they are still up comfortably by 16 or more, he might only play a few minutes in the second half. Having a good time, free and loose. Justin Robinson, the junior from just about an hour south of here in Kingston, New York. He's got his Hawks up by 16. Second half coming up after this. Welcome back to the 2016 MAAC Basketball Championships on ESPN3. We're at the Times Union Center in Albany, New York. 32-16 Monmouth leading Ryder. And we go over to Matt, who a moment ago got a chance to talk to Justin Robinson of the Hawks.
Justin, tough one for you to get going here offensively a little bit. Tell me what Ryder is doing to make things so difficult.
They have great help defense right now in the gaps. We have to move the ball quicker on the offensive end. the more we share the ball, the harder it's going to be for teams to guard us. So if we just continue to share the ball, we'll be all right.
You know, the one thing, obviously, and it's been a key for you guys all year long, so many guys can score when needed.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't have to score, but the guys depend on me to score. So if I'm going, they're going, and vice versa. If they're going, I'm going. We just feed off of each other.
Appreciate you coming by, giving us a minute. Best of luck in the second half.
No problem. Thank you.
And indeed, 8 of the 10 Monmouth Hawks who have gotten into the game have gotten into the scoring column, Rob.
Yeah, that's their depth. 9 or more players have scored in 24 games. You know, so that they certainly have the depth and the bodies to run at anybody.
Ryder gets the basketball to begin the second half in their road cranberry uniforms as the 8th seed here this weekend. Nice strong post move by Khalil Alford.
We saw Alford with a post move early in the first half to score it as well. We said, for as poorly as Ryder has played, they're certainly not out of this ballgame. Crazy thing about Ryder all season, Doug, you know, at times in games, totally different team from game to game, totally different team from half to half as well sometimes.
Micah Seaborn with just his second made field goal, but he leads all scorers with 11. Well, Rob, if you were handicapping this tournament before the first round games yesterday, how would you put the odds for favorites as Khalil Alford went to the ground, no floor, Monmouth with another takeaway? How would you handicap it? Would you make Monmouth the clear favorite? Nice job in transition to get the ball to Chris Brady for 2.
No, they've got to be the favorite. They've won 17 games during the regular season, but a clear favorite? No. Iona's playing as well as anybody in the league coming in. They've won 9 out of 10, including beating the Hawks on their home floor and beating Siena on their home floor here in a stretch late in the season. And then also you've got to consider Siena potentially one of those favorites because we're here in Albany, and they've been much better at home than on the road.
Alford misses the shot and a rebounding foul. Yeah, Siena's only lost twice here in this building, but that was to Monmouth and Iona. But the 2 losses Siena sustained against these Monmouth Hawks were without their junior point guard Marquise Wright, who is back now and healthy and pretty much back to full strength, and that could tilt things into their favor as well, but you can't discount really the 4, 5, and 6 seeds. Manhattan came out and really, I think, made a statement last night that the 2-time defending champs are going for a 3-peat.
Tell you what, if they play with the energy they had last night and Shane Richards shoots the basketball the way that he did in that ball game, they can certainly make somebody's night a nightmare.
Hornbeak for 3, and so from either wing, the 2 Texans have shot better here in the second half than they did in the first half. A couple of 3-pointers, one by Seaborn, and now Hornbeak with 5 points. High-low, Thomas. It rims out. Brady clears it, making sure it's one and done for the Bronx. James into the front court. And an offensive foul. Nice job by Jimmy Taylor to anticipate. There's another versatile weapon, Josh James. Not the biggest scorer, but remember 2 years ago when Justin Robinson was sidelined with the injured foot, it was James who stepped in and played most of the minutes at the point and did a good job.
And when those 2 guards came in their freshman year, it was Josh James who was the highly recruited player, the guy that people thought would help turn things around for Monmouth.
Zed Sadler got loose along the baseline. Asked King Rice a couple of weeks ago, when did he know that his program had turned that proverbial corner? And he was very clear in saying it's when I got those 2 guys to commit to Monmouth. But not a lot of folks around college basketball knew about Justin Robinson, what Coach Rice and his staff knew about this young man who at 5'8" has just been named the player of the year in the conference. Brady with the left hand. Alford gives back to Sadler. Zedrick Sadler's had a real nice career at Ryder, part of some winning programs. He picks up the assist on the finish by Taylor. First made field goal for the junior from Branford, Florida.
And they need one of those perimeter guys, one of those guards to get going.
Taylor the takeaway. Loses his footing. He's looking for a foul call that's not coming. Seaborn. Air ball, tough shot. Nice job defensively by Sadler, who never gives an inch.
No, Zed Sadler's a terrific defensive player. Quick with his feet. He's got the upper body strength and toughness to lock guys down. So no call on the bump at one end, no call at the other end. You got to like that.
Yeah, Sadler was the MAAC 6th man of the year as a junior. Again to the left hand, it's Chris Brady.
And he certainly could not do that as a freshman. His game has evolved. He doesn't put up huge numbers, but he's an effective low post play.
Averaging 7 points per game. He's got 10 on 5 of 6 shooting, as you see. Khalil Thomas missed it. Back out. Ryder continues the possession. Oki Raffer passes it out of bounds. Interesting, in the halftime interview, Teddy Oki Raffer said, we've got to start making shots and being shot ready. Really, they got to stop turning the ball over. Down 44-23.
Knowing that Niagara University has been named a best value means that it's one of the best investments that you can make in an education. I want parents to think about a Niagara University education as a great investment in their child's future.
There's a lot of talk about teachers not getting jobs these days. Our students are getting jobs. We have schools calling us asking for our most recent graduates, which is very exciting. Our success depends on the students' success at Niagara University. We want you to be the best student that you can be.
All right, everybody, if this doesn't get your toes tapping, then check your pulse.
The joy of cola, joy of bubbles, joy of fun, joy of Pepsi on your tongue, greatest taste sensation under the sun. Pepsi Cola.
At Quinnipiac University, we offer the warmth and spirit of a small town. You feel it the moment you step on our picturesque campus, and a team of upperclassmen helps you move into your freshman dorm. You feel it in the dining areas as students and faculty share meals together. And you can cheer with your friends and Boomer the Bobcat at many of our exciting NCAA Division I sporting events. This is Quinnipiac University, where you're part of our community.
Download the MAAC app to get instant updates on MAAC news, scores, standings, and video straight to your mobile device. Go to Apple App Store or Google Play to download tonight, or visit MAACsports.com/mobile for more information. Now, Iona head coach Tim Cluse doesn't strike me as a big app guy like you and me of a certain generation. And we've got some apps. We kind of know what we're doing, but Tim's kind of old school, and the 2014 MAAC Coach of the Year, checking this one out. We'll see the Iona Gales coming up in our second quarterfinal here tonight against Canisius.
But his team plays with a combination of old school and new school. Offensive principles, share the basketball, get it moving, but they play at a good, fast pace, entertaining as always. And as we said, they're one of the favorites coming in as well. They've won 5 in a row, 9 out of 10. And certainly with A.J. English and all of their offensive firepower, they're certainly a team to be reckoned with up here in Albany.
Well, certainly. If they come out and play as well as they did in their game in West Long Branch and the game they played here in this building against Siena a couple of weeks ago, Iona could easily be the team cutting down the nets Monday night. And Iona has made it to each of the last 3 MAAC championship games. They won it the first time and then lost the last 2 years to their arch rivals from Manhattan. Five minutes gone here in the second half. Xavier Lundy hands back to Sadler with 7 to shoot. Oki Raffer, 2 to shoot, puts it up. Nice job defensively by the Hawks. They're best in the league at making opponents miss from beyond the three-point line. Oki Raffer pokes it away from Robinson, who then pokes it away from Taylor. Ball still loose. Finally, it's Robinson who then has it knocked away. It's a hot potato. Robinson looks down, makes sure he's got everything where it should be. Reties his shoe. And Monmouth happy to just take some time. 10 on the shot clock. Seaborn uses the Diego Quinn screen. Hornbeak pull up 3. Ryder down by 21 points with the basketball. Oki Raffer. Long rebound, Robinson.
At least he's been aggressive last 2 possessions.
Robinson finds himself open but can't connect.
Far cry from the last time he was here in this building. Had a career high 36 in his last game here in the Times Union Center when he couldn't miss. Tonight he can't make shots.
5 points for Xavier Lundy, the junior from Paulsboro, New Jersey. Well, assuming that Monmouth stays comfortably in front here, if Ryder can't chip away, at what point does King Rice start thinking about resting some of his key players, or with the day off in between? Do you not think about that?
Yeah, I don't think you think about that. I think you want to play well, have a good feeling going into the day off. They have good depth. He'll stay with his regular rotation. I'd be surprised if he pulls guys back to save him.
And of course, Kevin Baggett's club would love to not have that even be an option for King Rice. Looking to get back in it. Zed Sadler picks up his second foul.
Now, in the old format, when you had to play 3 games in 3 days, then you start thinking about that a little bit earlier.
How about Austin Tillman to pick the pocket? And then he powers through the contact of Keelan Ives, who's called for the foul. It was as though Tillman, again, we saw him do it in the first half. He understood where the offensive player was going with the basketball before the offensive player knew.
And then when he gets there, he's like the bully taking the lunch money from the kid in the lunchroom. I mean, he is just bullying and overpowering his way, both defensively and on those drives to the rim.
So no basket. The foul came before the shot by Tillman, who retreats to the backcourt to take the inbounds pass. Out there with Justin Robinson, Colin Stewart, Micah Seaborn, and posting inside is Diego Quinn, the freshman from New York City, who actually played his high school basketball outside of Chicago at Lake Forest Academy. Robinson bounce pass Stewart for 3. Around and out.
He's such a smart player, though. The way it gets there, bounce pass.
Lundy for 3. He's got it.
Welcome to the ball game for Xavier Lundy. He's the X factor at times for this season.
No pun intended.
Yeah. But he has been missing in action until the last couple of minutes. Now up to 8 points.
Timeout called by King Rice, who told us before the game he wasn't going to lose his temper. Making sure his team doesn't lose the big lead. Up 15, we head to break with 12-14 remaining in regulation.
The ball is tipped, and there you are. You're running for your life. You're a shooting star. One shining moment is all on the line. One shining moment. That's good.
Thanks for the ride around Norfolk. And I just wanted to say Geico is proud to have served the military for over 75 years.
Roger that. Captain's waiting to give you a tour of the Wisconsin now.
Could have parked a little bit closer. It's going to be dark by the time I get there.
Geico, proudly serving the military for over 75 years.
Deep within you is a relentless drive. You come prepared. You come willing to work. You come to win. Discover the Performance Protein Bar made just for you. Come ready. 24 grams of protein, 5 grams of fiber, no sugar alcohols. One unbelievably awesome taste. Come ready. You don't quit, and neither should your bar. Come ready for the competitor in you.
The lead was 18. It's down to 15. Monmouth 44, Ryder 29. MAAC.TV is your official source for MAAC Live and on-demand sports, featuring 8 MAAC schools, digital networks. Now all in HD, the portal includes live content from schools like Canisius, Fairfield, Iona, Manhattan, Marist, Monmouth, Ryder, and St. Peter's, plus MAAC championship events like this one. Visit MAAC.TV/register to sign up now. With Rob Kennedy and Matt Harmon, I'm Doug Sherman. In our first quarterfinal game, Justin Robinson has 7 points, but it's been at the defensive end where he and his teammates have really made things tough on the Rider Broncs. 15 on the shot clock after the called timeout by Monmouth. Robinson gets a good look. Diego Quinn tips to himself, and it's going to be Monmouth basketball. Rider the last to touch, and so we'll take another break. 11:58 on the clock. Another stoppage in play here in Albany.
Coach, you've been able to turn them over a ton tonight and result in some points. Maybe your best defensive performance of the season.
Well, I think that's what wins tournament games, is to really guard people. But we didn't guard the last 4 minutes, and that's not how you win.
How about offensively? I know the first half it was a struggle to get any rhythm. You come out, hit a couple of threes, and it looks like you've been able to establish Chris Brady inside.
Well, we definitely play free on offense. I try to let the kids decide what shots they should take. Big Brady's been getting better daily. We probably should go to him more.
Coach, we appreciate the time. Best of luck in the second half.
Thank you.
.44-29, Monmouth leading Rider. We go over to Matt with Monmouth head coach King Rice.
Coach, you've been able to turn them over a ton tonight and result in some points. Maybe your best defensive performance of the season.
Well, I think that's what wins tournament games, is to really guard people. But we didn't guard the last 4 minutes, and that's not how you win.
How about offensively? I know the first half it was a struggle to get any rhythm. You come out, hit a couple of threes, and it looks like you've been able to establish Chris Brady inside.
Well, we definitely play free on offense. I try to let the kids decide what shots they should take. Big Brady's been getting better daily. We probably should go to him more.
Coach, we appreciate the time. Best of luck in the second half.
Thank you.
Chris Brady, 10.6 rebounds. They forced 17 turnovers. And there's another coach who has recently been rewarded with a contract extension. Jim Barron. Will see his Canisius Golden Griffins coming up in our second MAAC quarterfinal later tonight, Rob.
They survived a triple overtime game against their rival Niagara in the first round. Interesting to see how much energy they have on the quick turnaround.
Well, they, along with Niagara, combined for the longest game in MAAC tournament history. This is the 35th MAAC tournament. And they also combined, not surprisingly, for the most points. It wasn't the most points scored by one team, third most points ever by Canisius, but indeed we'll see after playing 55 tough minutes last night how much they've got tonight. And we'll see on their next defensive possession. We just heard from King Rice about his want to reinforce defensive intensity if the Hawks got the message. And a whistle and a foul. Austin Tillman will head back to the free throw line.
And so out of the zone, Rider switches it up and goes zone. Tillman able to get to the high post area against Kevin Baggett's zone D.
Fourth team foul against Rider here in the second half. And so Austin Tillman at the line. You mentioned the fact that he attended St. Andrew's School in Delaware and then Archbishop Carroll High School in Pennsylvania as well. But at St. Andrew's, Austin Tillman became best friends with Ben Bentel, now the Providence big man, and the Tillman family actually brought Bentel into their home, and the two of them consider themselves brothers.
Pretty good 2-on-2 pair.
Well, Ursula and Aaron Sr., the parents of Austin Tillman, opened up their home and are the surrogate parents of Ben Bentel, who grew up overseas.
So now, stat-wise, I wonder if that will get credited as a steal So certainly Justin Robinson coming up with the steal and then the jump ball. So I think that is a new MAAC tournament record, I would suspect.
Well, we're still waiting to see on the stat monitor, and indeed it is. You're correct, Rob. So there's a new MAAC tournament record for Justin Robinson. It's been his kind of day. Named the Player of the Year a couple of hours ago, and now has yet another record on his stat sheet.
And you love the fact he's 1 of 9 from the floor, 0 for 3 from beyond the three-point line, yet he still has had a big impact on this ball game.
They've done a nice job closing out defensively as Ryder to make it tough on those step-back threes. Robinson, meanwhile, got beat by Lundy, but then recovered. He was backpedaling, looking at the official. I was about to say, well, he got beat. He should have been back, and is able to get back and poke it away.
Yeah, he's got the quickness to make up for that. And as soon as Lundy brought the ball down, he's the first guy to the basketball.
Valentine and Alford go out for Ryder. Oki Rafford back in. He's on the baseline, passing into Khalil Thomas. Just over 9 minutes gone here in the second half. Lundy given the baseline, doesn't take it. Now they go into Khalil Thomas. Way off the mark on the turnaround after his own miss, and we've got a whistle. And it goes against Monmouth. First on Tillman, just the second here in the second half against the Hawks. Looked like Hornby may have gotten a piece of the face of Thomas. In that circumstance, if you're Austin Tillman, what can you do? It's two guys going for a loose ball, and how is he more culpable than Thomas?
Well, you know, sometimes it's just who gets there first.
Ives will go to the line. Tillman fouled him.
Ives has been one of the few Bronx who's been aggressive here tonight.
Kevin Baggett's been around this Ryder program for a number of years. 7 years as an assistant coach, first under Don Harnum. Don, by the way, sits just to our left, the athletic director now at Ryder. And Coach Baggett was an assistant coach under Tommy Dempsey, now the head coach at Binghamton. And then this is his 4th year as the head coach at Ryder University. He's a South Jersey guy and very comfortable there in Lawrenceville, New Jersey.
A little full court pressure from the Bronx.
Over and back, Tillman's pass was received by Hornbeek before Hornbeek got to the front court. There's Don Harnum, sitting front row.
And at halftime, he was like a coach. I was talking to him for a while. He's, man, we just can't make shots. We're not playing with confidence. We're turning the basketball over. I still call him coach just to make him feel good.
Well, I know first with Tommy Dempsey and now with Kevin Baggett, they both so appreciate having their former boss on the bench, their boss in the athletic director's chair, because they've got a guy who truly understands what they are going through. Don Harnum and the rest of the administration has continued upgrading facilities, and they've got the practice facility being built out back of Alumni Gymnasium, and they love working for Don Harnum. Thomas will head to the free throw line.
And don't look now, but Ryder has somehow gotten themselves back into this ball game. The game down in Lawrenceville was one of the weirdest games you've ever seen. You had that game. I watched it on TV. Monmouth was up comfortable the entire first half.
Game was over.
Game was over.
Game was over.
Game was over twice.
Twice.
They had it won, and then all of a sudden Ryder couldn't miss. Monmouth couldn't make a shot. And then to come back from down 14 with under 4 minutes left to play, the second largest comeback inside of 4 minutes that was won in regulation in the history of college basketball. So are we going to have potentially another one of those wacky, can't believe it type games that has no flow? Ryder's, and it's not like Ryder's done anything much to really get energy or anything going. Monmouth has obliged here in the last few minutes.
Well, if you're King Rice, you know, he doesn't like the signs that he sees coming out of the halftime locker room. He teams up comfortably by 16 at the time. How do you light that fire and get them playing with the same urgency they had in the first half?
Well, the first couple of minutes of the second half, they were fine because they made shots. They started off by hitting 5 out of their first 6, including a pair of threes.
But it was the defense in the first half as Thomas gets inside, scores on Brady, and draws the foul. It was the defense that was constant in the first half that really got them the big lead.
It was their defense that got the offense going. Now, as we said, Ives, one of the few guys that's been the aggressor. The aggressor getting into the paint that time. Got by Justin Robinson. Able to find little Thomas inside.
Foul number 2 on Chris Brady, and a three-point play by Thomas. And King Rice's lead is cut back to single digits.
And really, this is the first game pressure that we've seen for the Hawks.
16-3 run over the last 7 and change.
Half-court trap again by Ryder. And now into the zone. Switches of defense here got the Hawks out of a little bit of offensive rhythm they had to start the second half.
Seaborn hit a shot earlier in this half, misses there. Oki Raffer, a moment ago, made his first bucket of the night. Gets it into Thomas. Tough shot.
Got away with the walk and then missed the layup.
Brady calling for the basketball. Now he's going to come up so he can set a screen.
The Hawks have been a little bit more efficient offensively against this man-to-man than they were against the zone last couple of possessions.
Now Robinson is so good at splitting that double team, unable to do it there. He went down. And the possession arrow on the held ball goes back to Ryder.
And last year that might not have been a turnover because King Rice probably would have gotten a timeout quickly there to save the possession. But now during live ball, coaches can't call the timeout. That's where players have to be aware of the situation.
Hawks have gone stone cold.
They've also gone zone here on this possession.
Under 8 minutes to go. Lundy able to save it back to Oki Raffer. 10 to shoot. Back to Lundy for 3. There's your X factor.
Well, broken play against the zone defense, and don't look now. Another wacky ball game between Monmouth and Ryder.
These two old NEC rivals once again here in the MAAC. It's a 19-3 Ryder run.
And much like the game in Lawrenceville, I don't think anybody saw this coming from the Bronx.
Brady finds the cutting Tillman, and he will shoot 2. Well, don't count out the Ryder Bronx just yet. Their season may still yet have some life. 19 of the last 22 points have come for the Bronx. The Hawks can't buy a basket, and Ryder is looking at a potential upset.
We are St. Peter's University, a place where students who are eager to learn are taught by people who care, on a campus designed for both to thrive. We're proud to offer incredible learning opportunities and life-changing experiences, and that means our students are prepared to succeed in their fields, in their communities, and all over the world. Get to know St. Peter's University, the Jesuit University of New Jersey.
Know that you will always compete against the best while bringing out the best in yourself. To know that you are joining a family with a rich history in both academics and athletics. To know that you will become one of the future leaders of tomorrow. To focus on one goal, graduation. That's the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference. celebrating 35 years of excellence in academics and athletics.
Ryder has been on a 10-0 run, and so a 22-point deficit has now been trimmed to 6, and the Bronx are getting it done at both ends, Rob.
Well, they're playing with some energy and making some shots. It's amazing what happens when the ball starts going in. The X factor, Xavier Lundy, starting to get involved with the ball game. He had just 2 points in that first half, but he's gotten himself on a roll right now, up to 11. They're only players in double figures, but they've got some momentum, they've got some life, and like I said, they're a Jekyll and Hyde team. They're the hardest team to figure out in this league. We talked about it in the first half, Doug, that they've been a different team from game to game, and even inside of games, they've been a completely different team. This is no better example than that.
You know, I felt that this is a team that has lacked an identity this year, and you talked about the fact that they have yet to have a game where all 4 of their key players have played well together. And can they do that here in the second half? Well, Oki Raffer's gotten involved, taking care of the basketball a little bit better. Lundy's been playing better. Thomas has had a good game so far. Thomas has scored 5 points. Can those 4 get this Ryder team over the hump? Let's go back over to Matt with some thoughts from behind the bench. Matt.
Doug, I just popped into the Ryder huddle, and, you know, you'd think in the middle of this great run to get back in it and make this an exciting game, there would be a sense of excitement, and there is a little bit, but an amazing sense of calm from head coach Kevin Baggett. It seems like him and his staff really have a plan here pushing forward, but there was no screaming, no yelling, just guys, let's just keep chipping away and continue to fight to get back into this game.
Well, what Kevin Baggett has said all season long, you know, we've got a veteran team, we've got some seniors on it. He said, when I yell, it doesn't work. You know, this team's a little bit different. He hasn't been able to find the right buttons to push, so not surprising that he's keeping a calm demeanor here. Not calm with the no call on that.
Coach Baggett has done a terrific job during his 4 years as head coach. His rookie season was outstanding. Seaborn finds himself open in the corner and makes the Bronx pay. 14 points for the redshirt freshman.
Well, here's where Ryder, they cannot afford to turn the basketball over anymore. Those 19 turnovers, if they took care of the basketball, which they don't again.
Right on cue, Robinson finds the trailing Seaborn.
And he may have been a little too unselfish on that play.
Looked like he had an open lane.
Yeah. I think you got to push the pace and try to score it there.
Robinson hands to the MAAC Rookie of the Year who puts it up. Lundy with another rebound.
Yeah, he was feeling it a little bit, but that was not a good shot.
Lundy again for 3. After it was Alford, and apparently he was the last to touch. And so it's Hawks basketball. Alford, one of those seniors you talked about, along with Zed Sadler, Sean Valentine, and Teddy Oki Raffer. And Khalil Thomas, only a junior, but it seems like he's been there for 5 or 6 years already. Austin Tillman, again able to ward off the defender and lay it in.
They just bounced off that contact.
Under 5.5 minutes left.
And that's not the shot they needed at that end, and maybe not the shot Monmouth needed at this end.
Robinson comes and gets the basketball with 16 to shoot.
And Robinson still in single figures. That happened only one time this season when he scored 8 up at Niagara earlier in the year.
And he was twice named the National Player of the Week, an award that recognizes Lou Henson. Tough pass from Ives. He gets it back from Alford. And then bounces out of bounds back to the Hawks. Timeout, Ryder.
Yeah, good call there by Kevin Baggett because his team has had bad shot selection the last couple of possessions. Still only down by 13. You got to settle down. You got to run through offense. You got to find some better shots because the Hawks have not been able to throw a knockout punch.
But it was just a 6-point game 3 minutes ago. So does Ryder have one more push left in them?
Only if they take good shots.
The winner of this gets the winner of tomorrow's second quarterfinal between St. Peter's and Fairfield. It's the fourth of the 4 quarterfinals. Still got to figure out how we're best supposed to say this year with the quarterfinals split up between Friday and Saturday.
However you want.
Our second game here tonight, the second quarterfinal, was the third on that bracket between Iona and Canisius. And again, it'll be interesting to see if the Griffs are able to keep up with the Gales. And, we heard from Matt Harmon earlier the message in the huddle for King Rice to his guys, get a little closer to the three-point line. That theory does not apply to A.J. English and the Iona Gales.
Not at all. They've got unlimited range.
If you want to pull up from 29 feet, knock yourself out.
And Canisius as well not afraid to let it fly from deep. You and I had that matchup. Last regular season game was the Gales versus the Griffs. Canisius hit 15 threes in that game and still lost.
Yeah, Cassius Robertson seems to be the guy who has unending range for the Griffs. Well, there's big Chris Brady, as referenced by King Rice, having a big second half. He's now got a dozen for the game. Lead stretches back to 15.
And Robinson nearly with another steal. Instead, it's the Hawks who again force another turnover.
Seaborn gives it back, though, to Ryder. Under 4 minutes now. Seaborn with the turnover.
And with Monmouth, it's not trapping defense. It's not full court pressure. It's just solid man-to-man defense and active on those ball handlers.
Lundy continues to heat up here in the second half. He leads the Bronx with 14.
Well, he is really skilled and has good size to find those good looks over time.
Yeah, 6'7", 230, so he can be effective inside and out. Brady blocked from behind by Thomas. I think Brady thought he had himself an easy 2. Thomas, nice catch. Couldn't finish, though. Rebound tapped out to Monmouth. Tillman one-on-one with Ives. And Ives gives up the foul. Well, Ives at 5'9", 165. Saw the bowling ball of Tillman coming at him. And just gave up the foul. 54-42. Back with the final 3 minutes after this.
All right, everybody, if this doesn't get your toes tapping, then check your pulse.
The joy of cola, joy of bubbles, joy of fun, joy of Pepsi on your tongue, greatest taste sensation under the sun. Pepsi Cola.
I'm Mike Richter, and I love New York. There's no place like it in the world, especially in the winter. You know I love to play on the ice, but I also love the snow. New York has over 50 ski mountains, more than any other state. So carve some turns, catch some air, or snowmobile in a state with over 10,000 miles of trails. New York State is a winter wonderland. So plan your trip at iloveny.com. There's something for everyone.
Monmouth leads by a dozen over Ryder for a spot in Sunday's MAAC semifinal round. And of our first quarterfinal, let's now take a look at our Crons play of the game. It became the final play of the first half. And Rob, this could have been a big spark for the Bronx. Keelan Ives beat the buzzer.
Well, able to get it in. It seemed signaling that the basket was good. And indeed, they were able to sneak that in right before the half.
And here in the second half, Ryder has made a push in this 8-versus-1 game, cut the lead down to 6, but just as quickly, the Hawks have pushed back and at this point seem to be in good shape. But again, remember, they have played a couple of wild games, these longtime Garden State rivals. Tillman, who was just fouled at the free throw line to shoot 2.
And Monmouth able to close games out from the foul line. Over 77% from the line on the season for King Rice's team. Not only is that best in the MAAC, but in the top 5 in the country.
Now, during that last break, Matt Harmon stuck his head into the Monmouth huddle. Matt, what'd you hear?
Doug, defense, the name of the game right now for the Hawks. Assistant coach Rick Callahan started it off with 2 words: stay attached. King Rice picked it up from there, said, I want to see the most active zone defense, which we could see here in this possession that we've had all year long. Monmouth obviously feeling that they can close this game out with some good defense over the course of the next 3 minutes.
Well, Diego Quinn a little too attached on that possession, comes up with the foul on the push from behind.
And you saw assistant coach Rick Callahan seated next to King Rice, veteran Division I assistant coach. Who spent some time on Jim Boeheim's staff up in Syracuse in the early 80s.
He spent time on just about everybody's staff, I think. Rick Callahan, a long-time assistant coach, has made a number of stops along the way.
I know he and King Rice are both still close with the great Pearl Washington, who, as you may know, if you're a college basketball fan, is dealing with some tough health issues right now. And the two of them went and visited him a few weeks ago and really had a good time with Pearl as he recovers at home. And I love what the Syracuse community has done, honoring Pearl at every turn. Seems like every chance you get. Tough finish for Austin Tillman. Every chance they've gotten, they have been selling T-shirts, and you see Pearl T-shirts, and they're honoring one of the all-time greats in Syracuse basketball history.
I saw Jay Billis with one on the other day when he was interviewed.
Jay Billis, by the way, will be here in Albany for the men's championship game Monday night. He and Dan Schulman will have the call as Khalil Alford knocked down the shot. That'll be 7 o'clock Monday night on ESPN. So the big crew's coming in. You see the numbers for Alford, but the Bronx keep fighting. Minute 35 to go, but that's the story right there for Coach Baggett's club. 21 turnovers are really tough to overcome. Pass deflected. Lundy's got it. Got to get a shot up. Trying to find Taylor. He puts it on the floor. Missed the layup. Well, neither of these teams has done a great job at the offensive end tonight. Monmouth shot only 26% in the first half, yet led by 16 points. And other than the big push by Ryder to cut it to 6, the Hawks have been in command.
But as King Rice told Matt, the old adage, if you're going to win championships, it's got to be with their defense. Their quickness with their hands against those dribble penetration has been spectacular. 16 steals led by this guy.
Good number of fans have made the trip from the Jersey Shore. They had buses that have come up and will be here this weekend, wanting to see their Hawks get back to the NCAA tournament for the first time in a decade. Robinson is fouling.
And especially with the day off, you can expect more of those fans to make the trip. Figuring instead of coming up on Friday, make sure the Hawks get to Sunday and then come on up for Sunday and Monday.
You guys had some snow on the Jersey Shore the last couple of days, didn't you?
Yeah, they did.
Again.
Apparently. I got out before it came.
You guys have been popped a couple of times this year. Up around here, I think there have only been 6 or 7 inches total of snow for the entire winter here in the Capital Region.
One thing's for sure, it's cold enough out there to snow today.
Yeah. Well, we've got the leader of the bench mob about to check into the game for the Monmouth Hawks. Dan Polari. Had a chance to talk to him before last Friday's game. I asked Coach Rice, who's your funniest guy? Without hesitation, he points to Polari and says, get over here and talk to the guys. He replaces the MAAC Player of the Year, Justin Robinson, who did it with his defense.
And exactly. Look how excited he was, right? Most guys who score 20 a game, they score 9, only the second time all season. You don't get double figures. Maybe your head's down a little bit. He's just excited to win and advance on.
And he does so with a new MAAC tournament record, 8 steals in a single game. The old record was 6, done many times. He had 6 at halftime. And the Hawks extend their program record with a 26th win. More importantly, a deep breath exhaled by Coach Rice. Couple of good friends there exchanging pleasantries after the game. It's on to the semifinal round for the regular season champs.
It wasn't pretty, but certainly their defense was absolutely stellar.
59-48 your final score. Micah Seaborn, the Rookie of the Year, leads the way on the offensive end. The Player of the Year, Justin Robinson, leads the way on the defensive end. King Rice congratulating the Rider Broncs, who see their season come to an end at 13-20. And Coach Baggett now has to say goodbye to what has been a very productive senior class. There is one of them. Tough night at the office for Okie Rattlers. Sadler, another one of those seniors. And they go 1-1. They win the first round game last night, lose here in the quarterfinal round of the number 1 seed. We'll take a break and come back with our post-game report. We'll hear from the winning head coach and the star of the game for the Monmouth Hawks, who are on to the semifinals. MAAC basketball is brought to you by I Love New York. Winter in New York State, there's something for everyone. Plan your trip at iloveny.com. Monmouth wins our first quarterfinal over Rider, 59-48. Let's go over to Matt Harmon, standing by with the winning head coach. Matt.
Doug, thanks so much. Coach, you think about this one, quite an interesting day for you. 5 o'clock, you go over, get the Coach of the Year, Player of the Year, Rookie of the Year, and then you have to come play a quarterfinal game here.
This game was a hard one, not because of that. Kevin and I are good friends, and I know those kids really well, and then, you got to battle them 3 times. We just played them twice in the last 2 weeks, so that's a tough one, but I'm proud of my kids. First round of the tournament was hard for us, but I got the right guys with me, and that's why we won those things earlier, and hopefully that will carry us through.
On a day that Justin Robinson is kind of held in check a little bit, you guys still win. Had a big lead in the second half. I knew you knew that Rider wasn't going away, but what's it say about your team when the Player of the Year is held to single digits and you still win?
Well, we're growing up, and I've been saying it's been a team effort the whole time. Justin's had an unbelievable year. Obviously, he got Player of the Year. But we're not a one-man show, and anybody can get going at any time. Bench guys, starters. We have a nice team, and if we come out with the right energy, we're hard to beat.
And, Coach, lastly, obviously the advantage being the top seed in the tournament. Not only do you get tomorrow off, but you get to sit back and watch this next game as well.
Well, that's what you play the 20 games for, to try to put yourself in the best position. We're fortunate because this is a very hard league. But this year, Monmouth came out on top, so hopefully we get the fun times.
We appreciate the time here tonight. Good luck in the semifinals.
All right, thank you, Matt.
Let's turn our attention to our Pepsi Player of the Game, Chris Brady, the junior. Chris, obviously to you, 12 points tonight. I want to pick up what we were just talking with Coach Rice. Obviously, they had a game plan, take the ball out of Justin Robinson's hands. Other guys had to step up.
I mean, Coach just told us before the game started, just go out and play, have fun. and play our hardest, try our hardest. So that's what we did.
When you think about it, this team now plays with a target on their back. The beginning of the season, obviously not everyone knew how good this year would turn out to be. You guys are playing with some pressure now on you as the top seed.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, it could be a different dude every night, so we really don't feel that pressure. Like you said, I'll take the ball out of Justin Robinson's hand. We always have another person ready to score.
You know, Coach, when he was a player at North Carolina, was known for his defense. Obviously, that was a huge key for you guys tonight.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, I think J-Rob had about 7 or 8 steals, so, I mean, of course it makes up for not scoring. And I feel like everybody had their hand on the ball at one point in the possession on defense.
Chris, we appreciate you coming by, giving us a minute. Best of luck in the semis.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Matt. Thank you, Chris, our Pepsi player of the game. And here's a look at the updated bracket with Monmouth, Rob, moving on to face the winner of tomorrow's game between St. Peter's and Fairfield.
Now, they shot just 31% from the floor and 5 of 22 from beyond the three. But their defense, on the strength of 16 steals, forcing 21 turnovers. Ryder Bronx never able to really challenge, except that one time when they got the lead down to 6 in the second half.
Final score of our first quarterfinal, 59-48. Monmouth takes out Ryder. Join us again tonight at 9:30 here on ESPN3 when we bring you another quarterfinal matchup between the Iona Gales and Canisius Golden Griffins. And be sure to join us all weekend to catch all the action of the 2016 MAAC Basketball Championships right here on ESPN3. For Rob Kennedy and our entire crew, I'm Doug Sherman saying so long from Albany.